That'll get the attention.
Good evening. I thought we would change up the program a little bit and put some enthusiasm into gaveling us into session. So thank you, Mr. Ember. This is the call to order for the Board of Aldermen, the regular Board of Aldermen meeting located at the Salado Municipal Building, 301 North Stagecoach, Salado, Texas. The date is May 16, 2024, and it's currently 6:30 p.m. Call the roll, Ms. Bing. Right, this time we'll do the invocation. Just go to your God in the way you see fit and take the time out of your busy day just to wish us, pray for our village, but pray for our country. Don't pray for any more rain this time. Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the salute to the Texas flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. At this time, item number 1 is public comments. Please approach the podium, and you have 3 minutes to speak. And please discuss whatever you like to discuss with the Board of Aldermen. Item number 2 is the consent agenda. A, approval of the minutes of May 2nd, 2024 regular Board of Aldermen meeting. B, approval of minutes of May 9th, 2024 special Board of Aldermen meeting. C, acceptance of the financial reports as of April 30th, 2024. And D, removal of Michael Coggin as a signatory for the Village of Salado bank accounts. Y'all don't trust me, I guess? E, acknowledge and receipt of petition for release of area of extraterritorial jurisdiction, 663.6 acre tract from petitioner 7KX Investments, a general partnership. The legal description is 396.1 acres of land located in the H.W. Hurd Survey, abstract 398, the J.P. Wallace Survey, abstract 902, the T. Bucky Survey, abstract 82, and the R. Tankersley Survey, abstract 841, for Bell County, Texas, and being out of that called 374.03 acre tract recorded in volume 5162, page 787 of the official public records of Bell County, Texas. 5162, page 779 of the official public records of Bell County. In volume 7, Texas, and out of that called the 53.833 acre tract recorded in volume 7581, page 140 of the official public records of Bell County, Texas. Continuing, this legal description is 397 acres of land located in the T. Bucky Survey, abstract number 82, in the L.L. Hunter Survey, abstract 380, Bell County, Texas, and being all that called 87.504 acre tract, and all of a called 219.8 acre tract, both recorded in volume 5162, page 787 of the official public records of Bell County, Texas, and all of that called 89.955 acre tract recorded in volume 9769, page 481 of the official public records of Bell County. So before you is the consent agenda with items A through E. Any discussion or any questions to Mr. Manning? Do we have a motion?
Real quick, Manny, any concerns you have for the
Nothing yet, no.
Make a motion to accept consent agenda.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Bell. Second by Alderman Cox. All in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, items A through 4, say yes.
Yes.
A through E, say yes. All opposed, say no. This carries 4-0. Item number 3 is discuss and consider any action to remove from the consent. It's not applicable. And item number 4 is discuss action of election-related matters. We're gonna do these all 3 together, right, man?
No, so they're gonna be done one individual at a time, 4A, 4B, 4C separately.
All right. A is administer the oath of office to Mayor-elect Bert Henry, and that's gonna be Judge Coleman.
Before I do this, I would like to say and give a round of applause and a thanks to Mayor Coggins, who has served this city as mayor and as alderman. And behind the scenes work, countless hours he's put into serving the church. One more last part of it. He needs to live what he's been doing. And also Paul Cox, who has also served as alderman for several years. This is not a get rich quick thing. They serve as the pleasure of people. They serve as goodness of their heart, with the heart to serve. And Paul Cox.
I'm not a career politician.
And also, Jason Howard, who has served this board very heartily and very diligently, and your hard work is very much appreciated. And good part of it. I really think after that, those times is I've known Bert for several years. I went on several calls together. And I was close. Many conversations. Checked on Bert for days and weeks and months at a time. Make sure he's still okay up on the team that he's on. And okay, you ready to run? It's always work. But I will faithfully execute the duties of office of mayor. Village of Salado. I will best to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state. So help me God. Congratulations. I don't know that. Okay.
sir? Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I take it. You solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Alderman. The duties of the office of Alderman of the Village of Salado. And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. You solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Alderman of the Village of Salado. And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and the laws of this state. So help me God. Congratulations. Mayor, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. We appreciate you. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the Village of Salado, Texas, recognizing the public service rendered by Michael Coggin as mayor of the Village of Salado, Texas.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt, items, the resolutions 4A, 4D, 4E, and 4F, as they've been presented.
Have a motion to approve items D, E, and F as written. Second? Second is by Alderman Hurst. Any discussion?
Question.
Question has been called. All in favor of adopting the motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Bell, seconded by Alderman Hurst, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 3-0. Item G is consider approval of an appointment of Mayor Pro Tem for a term of 1 year. That's mine, unless Manny, you got something you want to?
Yes, sir.
That's just, it's customary every year, these elections, we're gonna, we have the opportunity to stay where we're at, or move forward in another direction. Make a recommendation to the board that, Mayor Pro Tem Bell as
So Mayor, is that your motion?
that's my recommendation, if these guys want to accept the motion.
I make the motion that we accept as Mayor Henry stated, so Mayor Pro Tem Bell stay in place.
Motion by Alderman McDonald, seconded by Alderman Hurst. Any discussion?
Question?
Question has been called. All in favor of approving the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem Bell for a term of 1 year, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Can I abstain? Still carry the vote.
You may abstain if you wish.
Still carry the vote. 2 in favor, 1 abstention. Passes. Item H. Discuss and consider possible action designated signatories for the Village of Salado bank accounts. Mr. De La Rosa.
Mayor and Alderman, congratulations. Currently, there are 3 signatories. It was Mayor Coggins. He has now been removed. It is the Mayor Pro Tem, Rodney Bell, and myself. So, if my recommendation is to select at least 1 more signatory. So, whether it be the mayor or another alderman.
I thought Alderman. Alderman, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You are, yes, you are one of the
So I
signatories.
thought we
You signed
had,
my, yes.
uh,
That is correct. So we have the mayor, so we have 4 signatories. That's what I was trying to say. So we have 4 signatories. So Mayor Henry still a signatory. Mayor Pro Tem Bell still a signatory. I am. If you wish to appoint someone else, this would be the time that we would add that or leave it at 3. It's your discretion. I don't believe so. 3's has certainly been working for us, and it seems to be working for us. None if you don't want to name a replacement.
At this time, we're not going to take any action on
Very
item
good.
H. Number 5, status reports. A Alpha, Village Administrator's Report. Mr. De La Rosa.
Okay, up on the screen, as soon as I see it, I'll see the sales tax. Look at this, $86,271 for the month of, it's been reported in April, but that's for the month of March 2024. Then you'll look at 2023, 75,000, so that's 11,000 more than last year, and then 78,000 the year prior to that. So, very healthy sales tax. Congratulations.
how much of that, does that only include like half a month of QT in place?
That would include QT, probably 2 to 3 weeks. It's not a full month.
It's not full.
No, sir, it's not. Okay. Moving on to the next one is update on potholes. Just want to let you know that I am still in communication with 4 different vendors. They're behind on projects that they were already working on, much less trying to get prices to us. And also, lately, the asphalt prices have been fluctuating, so they don't want to lock in until they know that they're going to get something, and it's probably going to be 30 days maximum. Because just like any other commodity, asphalt goes up and down. So, and they got to be able to get, to get it at whatever price it is at that time. They don't have enough quantities to be able to get a lock-in price for themselves, most of these companies, okay? That's how we get the better pricing. So, okay, so just want to let you know that that is still in the works, and we'll identify the areas, and for the new alderman, you'll see that I occasionally will see photos of areas that somebody identifies as a problem. If we assess that it needs to be addressed, and we try to address it fairly quickly, like I think you saw Royal Street, we did a patch job. That is a little bit more dangerous and needs to be addressed, and that was addressed by city staff. Okay, so moving on to the next one, update on tree trimming. We have started our tree trimming. The school district has provided some areas that tree branches were hanging and were hitting the sides of buses or the windshield, so those have been addressed. Others on staff, including police, and if some of you, and I know that I'm spending some time with some of you individually to show me areas that need to be addressed. Okay, so that is already started underway. Yes, sir.
So on the main bridge covering the creek, you got the walkway side where you got trees freaking growing to the walkway in directly itself, and then conversely on the other side, we have that one lone tree that every year we tend to find it being starting to hang out into the road as well.
Okay.
Smacking vehicles. Just want to bring.
Yeah, I did notice the east side of the bridge as I was driving northbound, and I noticed just this last week. So, okay, and now I'll look at the other side. And then the update on the new McDonald's restaurant. Wanted to let you know that the plat has been finalized. It's yet to be presented, but it will be in the near future. Shirley Engineering did it on behalf of the McDonald's folks, and I met the franchisee. So you have to understand that I was dealing with the developer, the seller, corporate McDonald's, and everybody had, and corporate McDonald's had an entitlements consultants, and each, the buyer and the sellers had different engineering firms representing their interests. A lot of parties involved. It's my understanding from meeting the franchise owners and the senior management that they will start, that they plan to start construction about June 17th. They like to get it completed in about 100 days. Okay? So you're looking mid-September, so that would say about October 1. They are going to try to hit the 90 to 94 days. This current franchisee has the location in Marble Falls and in Burnett. So, so they are looking forward to getting that done. So that was all that was about. So I will not issue the building permit until the plat has been submitted. We've already seen all of the comments have been addressed. It's an amending plat, not a full-blown plat, so it will not go before the Planning and Zoning Commission nor the Board of Aldermen for action. It'll be handled at a staff level. But it meets all the requirements of subdivisions, and it will have sidewalks on the 3 street sides. So the frontage road, the Williams Road, and the West Village Road area, or both sides of the property.
Any of all the entities you met with, which one of them mows the grass? Because the grass needs to be mowed.
Okay, at that property, yes.
That property.
I will.
Brookshires, but
so
that particular property is right on the frontage road.
Yeah. Now, the franchisee, they tell me that the property exchanged hands, so it is probably under the developers, and developers out of the Dallas area. So I will reach out to them.
You probably won't do it today.
No, sir. Yeah, you're going to bog your equipment down. Any other questions on the McDonald's?
Yeah. Even though it doesn't have to come to the board or to the P&Z for approval, I'd like to have some say, and if we can, on the interior. I think you and I discussed this yesterday. Something that makes it Salado specific, wallpaper or whatever that they have to do, the pictures in there that makes it so when people walk in there, they know that they're in Salado. Okay. I really would like to see something like that.
Yeah, I think some things like that are certainly discussions we can have with the franchise, not with corporate. Corporate isn't there. Corporate is just because about the golden arches, the logos, and the compliance with whatever our ordinances are at the time that they submitted. So, but the franchisee certainly wants to be part of the community. He's already introduced himself or the group to our Chamber of Commerce, so that they're making the rounds. So, and that seems reasonable, Mayor. So I will certainly, and again, I believe that they will be making an introduction to themselves here anyway in the near future.
Any other questions, man? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Item 6A, consideration of possible action on conditional use permit for a mixed beverage permit request from applicant Salado TCT LLC for property located at 21 North Main Street, 5E, as described in the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission application. Mr. De La Rosa.
Mayor and Alderman, I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Tracy Eddy, as she's one of the representatives for this application.
I'm going to be anticlimactic here after all the excitement tonight. So let me introduce myself. I'm Tracy Eddy. I'm the owner, along with my family, of Bar 1859. We named it because that is the year that Salado was founded. I hope that gives a sense of the type of patrons we would like at our location. It's a super small space. It was previously a bar as well, but we're hoping that this would be a place where neighbors can actually come in, have craft cocktails, and then go home. And we won't be open till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm kind of recycling questions that P&Z asked me a couple nights ago. Actually, my entire vision for this whole space is just a place where people can kind of come out, hang out, without perhaps loud noise. I'm picturing a more intimate space with some soft music so I can actually hear the person I'm talking to, and be a place to just relax and hang out. As I told the folks on Tuesday night, Salado has a chef in their community who is a chef in residence with Oceanic Cruise Line. And he's contracted with us and made some really cool suggestions of what we could have at our establishment, as well as an extensive amount of mocktails, because like half of the owners don't even drink. So anyway, we really are looking at this as a community space. Now, I won't have all the answers, but if you can have any questions, I can do the best that I can to answer them.
Mayor and Alderman, before she steps down, the Planning and Zoning Commission did meet on Tuesday. They did make a favorable recommendation after asking quite a few questions. This bar will not have any food. So, but they, I guess reluctantly they approved it because one of the commissioners stated because there was already a bar there once before. And for that reason, they weighed in favorably on it. This is regulated by orders number 2017-07, so adopted in 2017. And since it does have hours of operation, they open about 2 a.m. But
we won't stay open until 2 a.m.
I know, but yeah, I'm just saying what the ordinance allows. But on Sundays, for those that like to partake early in the day, between 10 a.m. and noon, you must provide food. I don't believe you're going to be operating during those hours. So we discussed that ordinance, and I provided it to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So it seems to be compliant with the application and with our ordinance, and just wanted to pass that information on to you.
Is there a chance in the future you would provide food, or is it a function of the space doesn't allow you to do it?
I don't even think the space is so small that we would even be able to create and cook any type of food. I do believe that there are some, we'll have to look up all the rules, but there is some avenue in which we can have, I mean, we're talking like maybe chips or something like that. What we would actually envision is partnering with some of the established restaurants in Salado and developing a way that could be used in our space. You know, there's an outdoor patio out there as well. And so I think that would be a better use. Instead of us recreating a wheel, let's just use what we already have. And again, our footprint is really very small, so we wouldn't be able to certainly cook anything.
Thank you. Have you ran this kind of business before? Have you done this someplace else?
We have not run a bar before, but I can tell you that we are business owners. We have several businesses, and Catholic Group Counseling Center and Temple Construction Company. My other partner, which is our son and his wife, they own an RV park in Salado as well as Fort Worth. So we haven't run this type of place before, but we are very in tune with rules and regulations. This is kind of my idea because I just like to have that community space. So,
Thank you for answering my question.
What are your intended hours of operation?
well, I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for sure. I'm a little personally torn on what to do on Sundays because I typically reserve Sundays for something different personally. So I'm not really certain about that. But I can tell you we're not going to be open till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't even know that we would have enough business to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So this kind of in flux is my personal vision along with the business consideration. So I would say we would definitely start with Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
What are your projected hours, ma'am, that you think you're going to probably start and run with?
I think 4 to 12, but again, it's going to be business driven to a point. If there's not a lot of business between 11 and 12, then it'll be 4 to 11, that type of thing. Can I add one thing? I feel very grateful and fortunate that we are in we don't have to be driven by finances where we must start selling drinks right away. We don't have to have so many drinks sold to push out the door to stay open. So we're not going to be catering to the newly 21-year-olds. We're probably not going to be all that attractive to them anyway, that type of thing. So while this is still a business, and there's no question about that, I would say we're very solid financially to where we don't have to change the model that I just described to you to stay in business. I hope I'm making sense. It makes sense in my head.
I understand
Okay.
completely on that.
Okay.
I get you. You own the property or are you renting the property, ma'am?
Renting.
Thank you. Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Here we go.
You're free to go, ma'am.
Hey, you got anything to add after that?
No, sir.
Anybody else have any questions for?
We did, we published. Yes,
Right
sir.
now, I'm about to.
Yes. Okay, so the statute when it comes to public comments, since this is an agenda item, the public hearing can be during this item also. So, but we did publish, yes. 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 Yeah, when the mayor, yes.
I was heading in that direction. All right. Any more questions? All right. Yeah. It's 7:08. I want to open it up to public comments, public hearing. If anybody wants to come up, 3 minutes. Tell us how passionate you are or not passionate, or whatever you like, as long as it is about this agenda item.
So I am Tim Fleischer. I live at 912 Cedar Park Circle, and my comments are going to be the same every time that an applicant has to apply for a conditional use permit in order to serve alcohol in this village. I do not think that business and property owners should have to come before the board and beg for permission to operate a business simply because they serve alcohol. I think there are enough laws on the state books, on the county books, and on the local books that regulate the alcohol industry enough as it is. And the fact that this lady had to come up and tell you what her business plans were, no other retail business had to come up here and tell you what their business plans were in public meeting. not a single other different kind of business had to do that. I think what we need to do as a village is adopt a plan that says if you are going to serve alcohol in the historic district, here are hours, here are regulations if you're going to serve food, here are regulations if you're not going to serve food. And if you meet those regulations, you don't have to come up here and beg us for a condition. I just think we're picking winners and losers. And I don't like it as a businessman for 36 years. I don't like it as a property owner for 30 years, that we have to come and beg permission to do with our property what is the best and highest use, whether we rent it or own that property. I think that those who invest their money in this community by opening a business and putting their neck on the line are the ones who have the vision for this community. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I'll say it every time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Regardless of who the applicant is.
I'd like to hear Tim talk. Can we do about 12 or 13?
Anybody else for public comments? Okay, I'm gonna close public comments at 7:11. Anybody else have any questions for Manny? Manny, got anything else to add? Anybody have any questions for Manny? This time I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve 6A as read.
Motion made by Alderman Hurst to approve as read.
Second that.
Seconded by Alderman McDonald. Any discussion?
Question.
Question has been called. All in favor of item 6A? Yes? Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Mr. Del Rosa.
When we started our meeting, we had a four. We still maintain that four, right?
Yes, sir, you do. Yes, sir, you did.
In the special meeting, we did that.
In a special meeting, you would, no, you would not. Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure that we point
Yeah.
out, we
And
still
we-
have a forum.
Yes, sir. And we noted to change, the time of the changing of the guard. We did.
Item 6B, consideration and possible action on variance request to sign ordinance requirements by applicant Salado LLC for a proposed Starbucks to be located at the southwest corner of Interstate 35 and Salado Center Drive on the northern side of the QT Fuel/Food Store. Mr. Del Rosa.
Okay, Mayor and Alderman, I'm gonna ask that Mr. Guy Slim, step up to the podium to, respond to the application.
I've got one for 2209 Highland Drive in Salado, Texas. I'm here for you guys tonight to have approval for a little bit higher sign. From the community, a little bit better visibility from the off ramp, similar to Quick Trip, not near as high as them, but some trees to the north, some telephone poles, just a little more clearance, a little bit bigger sign. Ordinance now 20 foot less than 30 foot, a little bit more as well. Really here to field any questions you guys may have. Well, that has a lot to do with what we discussed on Tuesday night. There's a tri-party agreement between the county, city of Belton, and Village of Salado that has to be hammered out as part of jurisdiction. This will put this lot solely in the Village of Salado. So depending on that, it probably would be the fall.
The action, I mean, it creates my wife's credit card.
Yeah. My wife already visits Longbow every day of the week, so I'm sure she'll continue to go there as well. So I'm already feeling the pain.
I think she hits them all,
Good
yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, I do. Why do you need a 30-foot? Is it just because of the trees and the wires and the interstate and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, based off the off-ramp location, I mean, Starbucks does a good job. We all have cell phones. I mean, for the most part, I'm looking at that for the most part, and they do a good job of putting the medallions on the state highway signs as well. But it's really just as you're coming that off-ramp spot there above the street. Some of those are not on the property that's being developed.
Is there beyond that a reason why you can't maintain a 20-foot requirement?
It would put us a little lower below those. We could. We just like a little bit higher one.
Is the typical Starbucks sign a 30-foot sign, or does it really cite that?
It's site dependent, usually on an interstate. I mean, if you go through Belton, we just did one in Italy that's 75 foot. I think Belton's around 70 or 80 feet. Interstates are typically pretty tall. Now I'm doing a monument sign in Chandler, Texas. It's in town, right? It's smack dab in the middle of interstate on Highway 31. That's a monument. It's a 10-foot monument. So it just depends on the location.
Quick question, from my knowledge and for everybody else's knowledge, is it a single pole or is it a double pole standing? Is it the standard round die?
Single pole with the standard around medallion.
No other business is going to be posted on that sign like sub below, standalone.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mayor and Alderman, the Planning and Zoning Commission did vote favorably to recommend approval of the sign at 30 feet high. So as Mr. Swanton indicated, our ordinance states that the maximum height is 20 feet at 64 square feet. He's proposing 30 feet at 82 square feet of sign space. So there was discussion about the QT, and some of you recall that the QT was a development, also a development agreement, part of an annexation. Okay, so their sign is much smaller. Saw the sales tax earlier. It is what it generates, and that did not go through the process. Because the Planning and Zoning Commission asked that committee to go through the process. Well, you as the legislative body are those decision makers. So if you deviate from the ordinances, that's your prerogative because you actually established those regulations. So you did this through a development agreement. There was some discussion about the golf course fairway out there. Taller again, that was not in the city. It was already existing and it was annexed, and that was an existing sign, my understanding. So therefore, and there was discussion about step coat, and I think step coat's at about 30 feet now. So, and I think and I've stated this before, when you start granting a lot of variances, you need to revisit the ordinances. So if that continues to change, and you keep getting those things, because your interstate I-35 has certainly been modified in the last 5 years or so, right? So therefore, how you get that transient business off the interstate that sees a sign, going to get off the interstate, go through a drive-through or a fast food restaurant or a coffee place, and then get back on the interstate. They need to notice. But so there's a different demographics for some of these businesses that are being attracted along the interstate that will not, in sport, will affect very little of the existing establishments. So.
Any other questions for me?
And man, before you close it, we did. And what I wanted to read was, under the conditional use permits, the Board of Aldermen shall be the final decision maker on applications for conditional use permits, following a public hearing and in consideration of the Commission's recommendations. That's where we publish for public hearings for both to really be posted on the Planning and Zoning Commission. Comma, the Board of Aldermen shall approve, modify, or deny the proposal for conditional use permit according to section 2.4. In other words, we follow a set of guidelines, and we make sure that we have part of it. So it's not overburdensome that you have two or more. We made sure we had it formally, stated at the planning zoning. That kind of it allows people to kind of have a lot more dialogue on this. I'm just trying to say exactly what the layout is, why we do what we do. So, but under the, as you take action, any member of the public can speak on an item that's listed on there, and that is their opportunity for public comment, public hearings, and I would certainly always encourage that we do that. So, if you will.
That's next.
Yes,
I'm going to open it up to public comments on this agenda item only, please, if anybody wishes to talk.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm Darlene Walsh, 1001 Mill Creek Drive. I'd just like to speak out in favor of supporting the request for the variance. Years ago, when we first developed and I was on the group that first developed zoning and the comprehensive plan, our vision was for the east side to be the historic side of town and the west side to be the side of town that would have the drive-thrus and the gas stations. They were not to be, we didn't want them on the east side. We have some, of course, already. But the idea was to put them mainly on the west side. And I think Mr. De La Rosa is correct in saying that, here's the thing. On Main Street, traffic is going 20 to 30 miles an hour. A monument sign is fine. People can read it when they're going 20 to 30 miles an hour. At least that's the speed limit, 30. But on the along the highway, of course, you've got traffic going 70 to 90 miles an hour. And what complicated things was when the highway widened or put an extra drive over on the west side, and SEPCO bought the land, and they came to us and said, we need a high sign so people on the highway can see us. Now, people may not stop immediately the first time or the second time or the fourth time, but if they can see the sign, they know they're there. And they may then stop on one of their trips through town. And I had always envisioned, and we had discussed it originally, that when these businesses on the west side develop, that we might be able to get them to offer a kiosk with information about our town, or a mural about town, or some other way to promote business in town. So I think it's inherent on us to encourage businesses to come to Salado and to accommodate them as best we can if they're willing to spend millions of dollars to develop. We need the sales tax money so that we have money to upgrade our roads. We have a lot of roads that are deteriorating in town, and we really need the sales tax dollars. And we were advised by Tim Brown originally, when he was commissioner, to be careful about too much residential growth and not enough encouragement of commercial retail growth, because that's where the tax dollars will come from to pay for our policing and our road upgrades and so forth. So I would just say, let's welcome businesses as best we can within our rules and our ordinances, and accommodate them as best we can, because we can't eliminate I-35. It's there. It'll be a great producer of sales tax. Better they spend it here than in Gerald or Belton or somewhere else. That's my thought. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Bean, I forgot to, 7:20 is when we went into public comments on this. Any further public comments on this agenda item? No. 7:24, public comments are closed. Anything else, Mr. Del Rosa?
No, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to adopt the variances presented.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Bell to adopt as written, seconded by Alderman Hurst. Any more discussion?
Question.
Question called by Alderman McDonald. All All in favor of item B as written, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? That passes 3-1. Item 6C, first reading of ordinance number 2024-05, an ordinance of the Village of Salado, Texas, providing for the imposition of a lien on an owner's property other than homestead or rental property after notice for delinquent bills for utility service to the property, findings of fact, effective date, repealer, severability clause, and proper notice in meeting. Mr. De La Rosa.
Mayor and Alderman, I am recommending the approval of this ordinance. This is only the first reading, but and the reason is this was it's being recommended by me. When I came into my current position, I had announced had a couple of outstanding invoices where we help businesses connect to our sanitary sewer that we were still waiting on payment. So there's still one outstanding. It's my understanding. It is the property is up for sale. It's a place of business, and again, it's not based on any one person or any one place. But if we do these kind of operations, we need to have ordinances in place that helps us collect. Very similar to a mechanic's lien under the government code. We're allowed to do this. My concern is that if the property it transfers ownership and we don't have a lien file on it, and that person sells, that we may not collect with oath to the village. So for that reason, I had a conversation with the city attorney. I'm proposing that this ordinance be considered in the future, and for that reason, very similar. Mayor Henry, you've gotten a lot of calls about people not mowing, right, their property. Sometimes we can handle those with citations because we have an ordinance. And in many communities, we actually send notices. But if they don't take care of that issue, the mowing, we send somebody to go mow in accordance with state law. But to collect payment, you have to follow lien. So we'll be looking at those. And that's why I'm very hesitant about sending some letters. We try to do voluntary compliance and talking to folks. So, but as I look at your ordinance, I may be recommending more of these types of ordinances in place to protect the city's long-term interests. Thank you.
I don't need to read this whole thing out loud.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I do need to read this out loud.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No.
Any questions?
There's no action for first reading, no, sir. Just certainly, as long as anybody wants to comment on it, but that's about it.
It is 7:28. I'll open it up to public comment. Anybody that wants to discuss or speak on this agenda item? Going once. Closed at 7:28.
Let me explain why we're having the first reading for everybody. There is, your ordinance is drafted in such a way that it says that before you adopt an ordinance, that you have a workshop. We don't have workshops, right? A lot of cities have a workshop 30 minutes, 1 hour before a regular meeting. So my position is you don't need a workshop, just handle it during the meeting. So we call it a first reading. It allows for dialogue, and that's why you take action on the second reading. So you're not gonna, if you go looking through the ordinances, you're not gonna find it. It's hard to read. It says have a workshop before you adopt an ordinance. So that's why I kind of follow this procedure. Okay. Thank you.
Item 6D, discuss and possible action on filling the vacant alderman position. Mr. De La Rosa.
Okay, had several conversations with not only mayor when he's mayor-elect, but also some of the aldermen. We've got a vacant position. When the election occurred, when we called the election for the May elections, we had one mayor and 2 alderman positions. Those have been filled, so therefore there is now a vacant position with Alderman Henry now the mayor. So that position is technically now vacant. So that would be it would be the unexpired term of your period, which would be a year from now. So you have 3 options. You can call for a special call election. We just got the bill this week. It was a little over $4,000, and that was at half the cost if we split the cost with the school district. So that kind of tells you that if we call the special call election, you're looking at about roughly almost $9,000 for a period that they would serve about 9 to maybe 10 months at most, but 9 months comfortably. The second option is you can appoint someone, and collectively you decide that. Or third option is that you leave it vacant, which my understanding and having spoken with quite a few former older people, is that's what the governing body's done in the past. So you have 3 options. Now I'll turn it back to you.
So that precedent's already been set in the past. I wasn't around for that, but the holding a special election is pretty costly. With our citizens right now are kind of in election saturation. We've had one back in March. We just held ours in May. There's another one at the end of May. Another one in November for somebody that's going to be in office for 8-10 months. Something like that. So, opening up to the discussion of you guys.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either.
On the process. You guys agree with that? I am perfectly good with that. I'm just more concerned when we have that meeting, if we know what maybe a process looks like for the appointment and how we solicit applications, we put out, okay, I want to serve that 25 terms.
Yeah.
If we look at people who have run in the past.
Yeah. There are cities, and I had a conversation with one of you that generally for cities that are general law type A cities for less than 1-year terms, you generally either leave them vacant or you fill them with somebody you appoint. Most of the time what they do is they collectively you decide that if you're going to take resumes or want people to submit some type of interest, that they submit a letter, a compelling letter of interest. Why do you want to serve, right? And then what their background may be, professional, whatever that may be. But I think the most important is you're trying to determine why, and then you go through an interview process in a public hearing. Very similar to you would have these forums, right? You're trying to determine who the most. You're going to determine from those candidates who you believe to be has the skill set that you're looking at, the compatibility to serve and that you can work with. And that's why that compelling letter of interest is very important.
Thought about this for a while, so let's just address the public about this too, as well as the Board of Aldermen and the Mayor. There's not a person up here that's not sitting here to get voted in by a Board of Aldermen. I just want to say that out loud. I do concur with Alderman Hurst when it comes to waiting for Alderman Graham to show up so we can all have a full board to make that decision. But at the end of the day, my concern is I don't like echo chambers and I don't like group think. Because from what I understand, the application process, as Mr. Delarosa just conveyed over, there's not a set manner in stone by the state, is the best way to say that. It's subjective at best. However, your vote is not subjective, it's direct. And though I don't like spending money, I'm letting you know that I'm not a big fan at this current juncture of picking a fill-in alderman at this point. I want to share that publicly. Thank you.
I would echo what you say because there are value in those. If you want it bad enough, put your name on a ballot, you go out, you work for it, and you do it the hard way. Most do it that way, all do it that way. Some do it that way. I've done it that way. Scramble. So I'm like Alderman McDonald, I don't like
equitable way to do it. Spend the money and let the voters decide. Let them have the voice and they want. And I think they'll respond. And what's going to be the consequences if we like to do it, if we create a restriction. I'm not saying that's bad, it's good. It is what it is. That's what it's not. So put that restriction on it today. So I am in favor of waiting for Mr. Graham to get back. I think he's right. Yeah, I do have people.
Just move the table, and we'll bring it to the next meeting.
Then I'm gonna withhold, public comments until.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not a done deal, yeah, you can move, yeah. You can move on.
Yeah, to make a motion, table 6G for the next meeting.
Motion made by Alderman Hurst to table 6D, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Bell. Any further discussion?
Question?
Question has been called by Alderman McDonald. All in favor of the tabling item 6D, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? That passes 3-0, sorry.
You gentlemen get the honor of doing one of the best things for us.
This time, the last item on the agenda is adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
I motion to adjourn.
So moved.